Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Dayo Akinbode is an unsung hero who flies the Nigerian flag in the remotest places in the world. She's a marathon runner and a race director. Dayo has run marathons on all 7 continents, covering 50 different countries. In addition to running official marathon events, Dayo is a member in good standing of Marathon Globetrotters and is their African ambassador. Through her running and organizing work, Dayo has prominently placed Nigeria in the global running community. Welcome to the morning show. Good morning. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here as well.
So let's see you at work.
Yes.
So this is your race at the highest altitude road marathon, Punjab, Pakistan.
Wow.
Resuming workout. Pausing workout.
Well done, well done. Well done.
Okay, there you are. Okay. Yes. Here's your medal. Ma'am, come in.
That's the moment you cross the finish line.
Cross the finish line.
Altitude road marathon. How on earth did you function? And how on earth did you actually cross the finish line?
In fact, I wouldn't call it running a marathon. I was more concerned about preventing altitude sickness because this is the very first of its kind in the world. At 4,700 meters, temperature at the start was -7 degrees centigrade. And I'm an African girl.
Yes.
I'm a Nigerian. My town is as flat as pancake. And I'm used to between 27 and 30 degrees centigrade. So for me, unlike the other participants, that was totally something I was not used to. And you can see I came in the last, right? Because I wasn't going to run. The oxygen level was very thin, and I just wanted to survive.
I think we have another video where you're actually telling us what's happening. Let's see that one.
Oh, yes.
Here I am at kilometer 33, totally spent, sitting by the side of the road, but I'm a tough girl, and I'm going to finish this. The ambulance is here, the soldiers are here, all the people are here, giving me all the support. But you know what? I am a tough girl, and I'm going to finish this. Rescue people, ambulance, Air Force, they all want to evacuate me, but no way. I'm going to finish this.
No way.
That's the Niger spirit.
I love it. Wow. So at that point, was that where were you in the race? You said you were in...
Yeah, that was at kilometer 33.
And how many kilometers is it?
A marathon is 42.195 kilometers long. This was at kilometer 33, and I was totally spent. And I'd come 33 kilometers, just about 9 kilometers left, I think.
Yeah, you've done most of it.
Yeah, and but I had no energy left in me. I couldn't breathe, and every now and then, the ambulance, the medics, they stuck with me. They'll check my oxygen level. And at this point, it was 80% of oxygen in my system, and that's the threshold. Anything below 80 is high risk, and you have to be evacuated. So I said to them, you know what? I'm going to catch a breath. I'm not going to allow you to evacuate me, because you need to be in the race to win the race. So once you are evacuated, you are no longer in the race. So I sat down, tried to getting more oxygen, and then I continued. And for that tenacity, I think I got an award from the Chief of Air Staff, Pakistan, for not giving up.
You deserve that award. I wanted to ask you about your training regime, and now that's physical and mental, because those mental reserves, I'm a tough girl, I'm not going to quit. Yes. So how do you train yourself to physical conditions to be able to run that kind of marathon in below freezing temperatures, high altitude, and sort of the mental toughness?
Okay. Running marathons physically is tough enough, right? But physical training alone doesn't get you to the finish line, because usually around kilometer 35, if you ask any marathon runner, they're spent, right? At that point, you really, that's what we call, I've hit the wall. If you don't have that mental toughness at that point, and you are not able to dig deep and tell yourself to continue, lots of people give up at that particular point. So when we got to this Pakistan, because it was about, I think we had about 41 international runners that had flown in from different parts of the world. And we were having this conversation. Lots of people were talking about how they have trained to run in this kind of condition. I didn't have anything like that. I trained like I was training for any other marathon. Where are the mountains in Nigeria? We didn't have them. Where are the cold temperatures? We didn't have them. So I trained in tropical Africa on flat grounds. So I knew that the only way for me to finish this is to be tough mentally. So I kept telling myself, one foot in front of the other. As long as you keep moving forward, you will get there. When you stop, then you're out of the race. It may take a long time, but one foot in front of the other. And when I got to kilometer 33, when it was completely difficult to continue, I said to myself, when the going gets tough, that's when the tough gets going. And I kept saying to myself, I'm a tough girl from a tough nation. You're a tough girl from a tough nation. And you are the only Nigerian here. You need to keep Nigeria, make Nigeria proud.
Wow. Let's take a look at when you received that award you just referred to.
Dayo is a marathon runner and a race director. She's run marathons on all 7 continents, and Pakistan was the 50th country she ran a marathon in. In addition to running official marathons, Dayo is a marathon globetrotter and it's their African ambassador. She's also a member of the 7 Continents Club, Marathon Country Club, and Marathon Maniacs. Through her running and organizing work, Dayo has permanently placed Nigeria in the global running community. Please welcome Dayo Akinbode.
Amazing. So I want to talk to you because when I read your story, I thought, how do you even start? How do you start running and then become a marathon runner?
I've been asked that question a lot.
Because the reason why I'll ask you is because, number one, marathon running is actually not something very common globally. And it's also it's not common even in Nigeria. We're very much known for sprinting. Exactly. I mean, that's sort of like our comfort zone. That's where we shine. Yeah. And so when you see people run marathons, even no matter where I go in the world, when I meet marathon runners, I'm amazed because, I mean, just even running like a few kilometers, I'm always like, okay, I'm done after 3. So tell me, like, how do you keep going?
Okay, so I stumbled into it, right? 5 years ago, I couldn't run 1 kilometer.
5 years ago?
5 years ago, I couldn't do that. So I stumbled on it. I used to work for Shell. I'm a retired engineer with Shell. So we used to have this annual medical checkups. So in 2013 or thereabouts, I had my medical checkup, and I was told that I was obese. I was told I had bad cholesterol levels. I was told that I had to change my lifestyle or I was going to drop dead soon. So I didn't know what to do. They told me what to do, increase your activity levels, change your diet, and all of that. But I kept the report somewhere. I just didn't have the courage to change anything. Then the next year, Shell, I can't tell my story without talking about Shell. So they come up with this thing called the Global Corporate Challenge. And they wanted employees to sign up. And then they had said every normal person should take 10,000 steps a day. And they give us the speedometers, and we're supposed to be logging in this on a daily basis. And we're competing with people from different parts of the world. So 2 weeks to that time, they said, don't make any adjustments to your lifestyles, so we know have a basic foundation of what you're like. Just record your steps. And I'm very competitive. So I was recording 1,000 steps daily, 800 steps, 1,500 steps on a very good day. And they say 10,000 steps daily. I'm so far away, and I was one of the active people with my 1,000 steps. So when the competition started, and we started recording, and then you could see what other people were doing in other parts of the world. We had people, especially from Canada, people from Germany, people from New Zealand. They were recording 30,000 steps, 40,000 steps. And here I was recording 1,500 on a very good day. So I reached out to them. These figures, are they daily steps, weekly steps, monthly steps? And then they came back and said, oh, daily steps. So how do you do that? I'm a good learner too, I like to learn. And then some people say, oh, I commute to work. I don't use the elevator. I run to work. I run back home. I do this, I do that.
We're gonna go on break, but we're gonna come back to you because this is really important for people to know. It's time now for a short break on the morning show. When we return, we'll continue our conversation with our marathon runner that is flying the Nigerian flag high. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. We're still with Dayo Akinbode. So before the break, you were talking about how this competition where you worked at the time, Shell, galvanized you.
Yes. So the first thing I did was, okay, I need to ramp up my steps, daily steps. So the first thing I did, I stopped using the elevator. I think I was sitting on the 14th floor.
What?
That's where my office is. And when we have conferences or meetings, we're up on the 20th floor. So I was determined, no more elevator. And then for the car park, I had my driver stop dropping me by the gate. Go to the car park. And when you get to the car park, don't park near the gate. Look for the place that is farthest from the gate. So that right from the morning onset, I take some steps to the gate, and then I take some steps to the office, and then I climb the elevator to my desk. And then I stopped sending the tea girl to get me tea. I minimized telephone conversations. I'd get her from my desk, walk to any other people's desks and speak to them. And then I found out that even doing that alone, I was getting more results because body language and touch. Sure. Yes, I was getting things done. So at a particular day, I had 8,000 steps by the time I got home. That was the best, close to 10,000. So I said, you know what? I'm going to walk down the street until I clock 10,000. So I did that. I clocked 10,000, and that was the end of it. Every day, 10,000. I don't go to sleep. And then I stopped sending my maids, get me water, get me this, get me that. I'll get up myself and do what I need to do. And along the line, I met someone one day. Weekends were very difficult because there's no work. So I decided to start jogging on my streets. And then this day was raining. No shelter. I didn't have my 10,000. If I go back home, I won't have my 10,000, but I won't be wet. If I continue, I'll be wet, but I'll have my 10,000. So I continued in the rain. So on the other side of the road was another lady who was coming. And then I was already, because people were already whispering, something wrong with her because I won't use my car, I'm walking. Something wrong with her. My gatesman actually called me one day and said, Madam, everything okay? I said, why? He said, because you're always walking. And I said, everything is okay. So I was thinking that day when it was raining that they'll say, okay, confirmed. she's actually mad. So when I saw Tayo, that's the other lady, I didn't know her before. Then she crossed to where I was. She said, oh, thank God. She was running in the rain. I was running in the rain. And we were thinking the same thing. So we said, at least two people, two mad people, it's okay. And then I got to know that her company too was into GCC. She was trying to, and then I was into GCC. So you live around here? Yes, I live around here. So we started doing this together. Way back, running and on the streets wasn't this common the way it is now. So we were kind of odd. So one of those days, she said, oh, Dayo, do you know that we can train to run a marathon? And I said, a marathon? What's a marathon? I know the word, yes, but I didn't know it was a certain distance of 42.195 kilometers. So she said, oh, when you get home, go to YouTube, watch Boston Marathon, New York Marathon, London Marathon, and then you get a feel of it. So I watched New York Marathon. Oh, I loved it. I said, oh. And then I read somewhere that only 1% of the population of the world can run a marathon. And I'm competitive. Okay, why can't I be part of the 1%? So I said to Tayo, okay, let's do this. And then she said, you know, we can't just run a full marathon. There's something called a half marathon. So let's train for that and do that. And then she comes up and says, oh, there's one in Accra. As at that time, no marathons in Nigeria. So there's this one coming up in Accra. So 5 of us, 5 ladies, we trained together, and then we went to Accra. And that was my first official race. So I ran in Accra. I loved it, especially towards the finish. And I had this, you have your number, and then people are calling your number. And I think I had my name as well. So people were saying, oh, Dayo, go, 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 go. I mean, it was like I was on stage. Like Michael Jackson is on stage and everybody is cheering. Oh, my God, it was beautiful. So I got to my hotel room and I quickly Googled, where is the next race?
Wow, you were hooked.
I was hooked. Where is the next race? No, that was a half marathon, but I wanted to do a full marathon. I wanted to belong to the 1%. So I saw that Dubai was the closest. And it was going to be in January. This was September. It was going to be in January. So I signed up for it without consulting anybody. I booked my ticket, flight ticket.
Oh, wow.
And I booked my hotel. So Tayo comes into the room later and says, oh, how was this? Oh, I said it was nice. When can we do this again? She said, oh, she will find where there's another half marathon. And I said, well, there is Dubai Marathon in January. 5 months away. I've signed up, bought my flight ticket, booked my hotel. He said, no, it's not done that way. You must run a series of half marathons before you can graduate to run a full. I said, oh, but it's done.
Yeah.
And then she says, no, you can't do that. She said, anyway, she will go to Accra as well, but she will run a 10. And that, no, Dubai. That Dubai marathon, I signed up for the full marathon because there were only 2 categories.
Okay.
10K and a full marathon.
Oh, okay.
And we had just finished running a half marathon.
Okay, okay. So you're already
I can't
20,
travel all the way to Dubai
just
to go run a 10K.
Yeah,
so I need to up my game.
Yeah.
So that's why I signed
Now your competitive spirit came in.
That's why I signed up for that. And then Tayo and the other girls signed up for the 10K. So we got to Dubai in January. They were supposed to wait for me. Oh, they didn't wait for me because they were all saying, she can do it, she can finish it. She's only done 1 half marathon and then she moves up to the full marathon. And then before going, I said to them, if I don't finish, if I don't complete the race, what would they do to me? Would they kill me? Would they shoot me? I said, no. Okay, so if I can't finish it, I'll just fall by the wayside and go back to my country. But then I finished it.
Wow.
And then when I finished it, I felt very depressed because I'd trained for 16 weeks. So there was something to look forward to.
Yes.
16 weeks, and now it's done in 5 hours, 14 minutes was what the time it took me. And then I was happy for a few seconds that, okay, I did it. And then, what next? And then somebody said, oh, why were you looking so sad? I told the person, oh, the secret is before you run one, you have another one signed up for. You have another one signed up for. I said, okay. So I signed for another one in Tanzania.
Okay.
March, 1st of March. So when I got there, I had the misfortune or fortune of meeting a group of crazy people. There was a particular Japanese man, old man, who was running his 1,000th marathon. So people were bragging, oh, so what number is this for you? And, oh, number 2. Oh, number 50, number 60, number 600, number 1,000. Really?
So you're like, this is a thing.
This is the thing. Okay. So that's how I got into it. And then along the line, I found out there were so many clubs. You have the Marathon Globetrotters. You have the Marathon Country Club. You have the Marathon Maniacs. And for you to get into all of these clubs, global clubs, you need to, there's certain criteria. For instance, to join the Marathon Globetrotters, you need to have run a minimum of, you need to have run marathons in a minimum of 10 countries. For you to join the country marathon club, you need to have run a marathon in a minimum of 30 countries.
Wow.
So that's how I got into it. And then we have the 7 Continents Club. You must have run a marathon in each of the 7 continents.
Which you have done now. So I want to ask you, where's your favorite place to run a marathon in the world?
Oh, people ask that question, but every marathon is different and unique. You can't compare them. Initially, I thought it was Tanzania because I was running through plantations, and it was nice running like a child, set loose. I can't forget that. Then I ran in Antarctica, and that was
Antarctica.
Something else, and only few people, because it's so expensive to get there, only few people are able to do that. I did that in 2015, and we only had the penguins and the sea lions that you see along the, because you know it's not an inhabited continent.
Sorry, I want to jump in here because I want to go back to what actually spurred this on. So when you now, after you started your marathons and you went back for your checkup, what did your doctors say?
Okay, so the next checkup, even before the next checkup, I think I went for something else on the clinic, and by the time they took my vitals and all of that, the doctor said, "What are you doing differently?" And I said, "No, nothing." My weight had gone down. I didn't even know that with my training and running, I was gaining some other things health-wise, which I didn't know about. I'd lost weight. My cholesterol levels were good. I was never sick. So the man said, "What are you doing differently?" And I said, "I'm not doing anything differently." And then he said, "Did you participate in the GCC?" And I said, "Yes." GCC was supposed to last for 5 months. But at the end of it, it had become a lifestyle for me. It was no longer about competition. It was now a lifestyle for me, which is what they actually want it to be. So I said, "Oh, GCC, oh yes, yeah, I participated in GCC, but I'm still living the GCC lifestyle." So in Shell, I became point of reference. There was a day that I was sitting and somebody had gone to my supervisor, because we have an open office, and was trying to take permission to go to the clinic. And then Charles, my supervisor, then said to him, "You're always going to the clinic. Why can't you do the kind of things Dayo is doing? Have you ever seen her go to the clinic?"
We're running out of time. I want to ask you quickly, when is your next race and where?
Oh, that's next Sunday in Morocco, Casablanca. I'll be running my 61st marathon in Casablanca.
In 5 years. In how many years? How many years did you start?
5 years. I ran my very first marathon in January of 2014.
And now you're on number 61?
61 in Morocco. Then from Morocco, I go to Canada. I run 3 in Canada. And then the weekend after, I run in Cuba, Havana. And then I go to Panama. I run in Panama the weekend after. And then I go to Costa Rica, and then I go to Mexico, and then I'm back in Nigeria December 12th.
Wow, so it is true. You have to have the next one and next one lined up.
You have your whole itinerary for the rest of the year.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Fantastic.
much. You have been such an inspiration this morning.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.